Freaks and Geeks, welcome back to another episode of the Lane Shift where things get freaking geeky. This episode is brought to you by, it's bringing me excitement, the Slash and Cast Podcast Network. Alrighty, you can check us out on the Google Play Store. We have an app now. It's only on Google Play Store. I do apologize to the Apple users. Hopefully we can have something up on the Apple Market soon. That'd be excellent. However, we're also on Twitter still, YouTube, Facebook, and so many more. And you can check us out on slashacast.network. We have many good podcasts there. I actually recently started on one called the Trick or Treaters Podcast. Be sure to check them out. We talked about the Devil's Rejects. Excellent. But yeah, Slash and Cast Podcast Network. If you don't check it out, what's wrong with you? You're missing out. We have true crime, wrestling, of course horror, gaming, action, and so much more. And again, Slash and Cast Podcast Network. You're missing out. So, Freaking Geeks, today we're going to be talking about Child's Play. To those who don't know what Child's Play is, you probably have heard of this name, Chucky the Doll. You've probably seen The Bride of Chucky, The Seed of Chucky, The Curse of Chucky. Dare I even say it? The Curse of Chucky. Don't worry, we're not be talking about that one. You're good. We're good. We're keeping it positive. I promise you. No. So, we're honestly just going to be mainly talking about, of course, the original 3 Child's Play. I don't know what you're thinking, but Lane, The Bride of Chucky, The Seed of Chucky, I said Child's Play, so we're going to be talking about Child's Play. First off, Child's Play, very awesome, right? I'm just going to have to say it. I think the original time that the first Child's Play came out was 1988. Yeah, still wasn't, still probably really, really fresh. Definitely a lot younger than any other horror movie that came out, including Friday the 13th Part 1 and Halloween 1. So yeah, Child's Play is definitely very young to the original classic killers. And I think it's even younger than Nightmare on Elm Street. Child's Play is, it's interesting. How people can be afraid of a doll. I just had to say it. This movie really I love, but as a kid I fucking loved Chucky. I feared Chucky, but as an adult I hate him because it's like, how do you lose to a doll? A doll! A mini... I get it when he traps and tricks. Okay, that's... at least the fucking leprechaun had magic. I'm just gonna say it, at least the leprechaun had magic. And that's what he would use against people. And of course he would be stealthy too. But Chucky is a plastic doll. He weighs nothing. I'm just gonna say it. He weighs nothing. And you can be mad at me and you can go, Lane, you suck. No. He weighs nothing. And I just have to say it. If you die to Chucky in real life, I'm going to be mad at you. I'm going to be really, really mad at you. No, I'm kidding. This is just a joke. So, Chucky. Charles Lee Ray uses voodoo to put himself inside a doll. Charles, what were we thinking, man? What were we thinking? Honestly, I think I'd rather much bleed out being shot down than put myself into a doll's body. I get it. It was like, I don't want to die, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to be a doll, though. Being a doll would suck. You'd be owned by a little kid. They'd draw on your face, shave half your head off, punch you in the face, throw you in the pool. Literally probably burn you with a lighter. Who knows? It's just, I wouldn't want to be a doll. It would suck. So, Charles Lee Ray possesses a good guy doll named Chucky. Of course, he torments the life of poor little Andy Barkley. In the first one, he tells Andy that he's alive, does killing, tries to make the people convinced that it's Andy who's killing all these people, which is very weird. And then afterwards, he went to go see his voodoo doctor. Voodoo doctor told him right before he killed him is that you have to possess the person that you told that you were alive to first, and that was Andy. So now he wants to become a young child again. of course, is Andy Barkley. However, Andy defeats him with the help of his mom and a police detective. And let's go. Fuck you, Chucky. Let's go. So it's Child's Play 1. It's an excellent film. Again, 1988. I really highly recommend it if you've never seen any of the Child's Play. It's really good. There is a Chucky series coming out soon to Sci-Fi, which I'm really hyped for. Child's Play has really been a super innovative, different type deal to the horror realm. It is a slasher, however, it is definitely a unique slasher. I mean, who knew that someone was tormented by dolls long enough to make a horror movie about one? But, in all honesty, it made sense. I mean, you think about it, if you've never seen Child's Play, you're probably laughing and you're going, wow, this Lane guy really is dumb if he thinks it's good. I mean, honestly, a horror movie about a doll sounds stupid. Well, I mean, you can think that, but it's actually it was really good. It's an excellent film. I grew up with Child's Play. In fact, I actually had a Chucky doll myself. Super expensive. However, one of my brothers got really scared and threw him away. To this day, he doesn't fucking claim it, but I know he did. You dick. But yeah, that was my Chucky. He was my childhood, you know. I mean, I never honestly was afraid of Chucky. I'm not like one of those guys. I was afraid of a lot of horror movies as a young kid, but Chucky, I just thought was cool. Especially because, like, yeah, growing up and you really watch, if you're like me and you grew up off of 80s things, you really gotta appreciate when horror movies don't show the killer at first sight. It takes like maybe towards like the end of the movie to show him. It's excellent. It just is. I really love that. Like where it just like it's first person. You don't even see a hand. You don't even see a leg or an arm. You just see the camera attack someone and push them somewhere or stab them. But that's it. Like it's excellent. That's what Child's Play had to bring. You really don't see Chucky in the first one until about when the police detective wrecks his car because Chucky was choking him or strangling him, and when he wrecks, you can see Chucky like running around, which is really cool. So first off, that doll was, I'm pretty sure, was animatronic, which was really excellent because I mean this animatronic was very highly built for the 80s. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Most animatronic movie characters are normally horrifying or creepy looking. Let's be real, the way they move and everything. I mean, if you know what an animatronic is, you have to play Five Nights at Freddy's or watch, of course, the classic Willy's Wonderland that came out recently, which is really excellent. That being said, so with Chucky on the spree, the detective knows now and all that. Again, they killed him, which was very excellent. Chucky was burnt, shot in the head multiple times, and destroyed. You know, of course you get like that thriller twist where Chucky's actually like, kind of alive. In Child's Play 2, he's recreated, put back in the good guy body, which is a really cool rebuild scene. Or no, wait. Is it though? I can't actually quite remember. No, there wasn't. I'm thinking of Child's Play 3. I take that back, y'all. That's Child's Play 3. I don't think Chucky got a rebuilt scene in Child's Play 2. I'm not 100% sure on that. Wow. It has been a minute, huh? That's alright. I remember enough of Child's Play 2 and 3. Don't worry about it, y'all. Y'all are in good hands, I promise. I know what y'all are thinking. Lane, didn't you watch it before you reviewed it? Of course. It's just, 3 years ago. No, I'm kidding. It was probably like a couple months back, I just watched them like in February. When you watch so many horror movies like me, you tend to forget some. I guess it's even the classics. So that being said, Child's Play 2, you don't get at least to my knowledge, you don't get really much, even if you did, you don't get really too much of a Chucky recreation scene. Child's Play 2 is definitely a big gap. It still follows the life of Andy Barkley. Something happened to his mother. I don't know, they don't really explain it too well. Andy goes into foster care. He's then adopted by a family with a troublemaking daughter, Kyle. Kyle is a badass. I don't care who anyone says that. I will fight you. I swear we will throw hands on the name of Kyle. She was awesome. So, they already knew Andy had a fear of good guy dolls. They left one in the house by a previous kid who lived there. And so, with that being, Chucky breaks the doll, buries under a swing set, which, smooth move, because if you drag your feet, you're gonna find some broken doll face, under there. So, Chucky breaks that doll, pretends to be it, to again, get the curse on Andy for killing him, and so he can turn back into a human. So, with that, Chucky decides to go to school with Andy. Chucky's gonna learn. Or Chucky's gonna teach. Who knows? No, I'm kidding. Chucky goes there to attack Andy. Teacher finds a doll, puts it in a closet. He pretends to be a young kid, attacks the teacher with a yardstick. Yardsticks are very long, very wooden, and very painful. I know because, when you're young and you grow up with siblings, you play sword fights with yardsticks until one of them comes and hits you really hard with one, and that shit hurts. It hurts. It does not feel good at all. Fair warning if you like to play with yardsticks. Still. That presuming if you are 18 and up and listening to the link shows. If you're not, pause this damn episode right now. Who the hell do you think you are listening to my goddamn podcast? You are under the age. So yeah, yardsticks, man. Horrible. Yeah, I gotta say, I really do not care for that scene. That is a very painful scene to me, mainly because you can hear the swatting, like you can hear the like over and over again, but more harder. And when you hear those noises, it like brings that nerve to a cringe, and it's like, did you have to do that, Chucky? Like, come on, bro, come on. So later that night, Andy claims Chucky's alive and did something. They throw it down the basement. Chucky's bleeding out of his nose, which is really cool because you can see like blood dripping and everything. It was probably just ketchup or tomato sauce, but hey, who cares? It's still a cool scene. Chucky then kills the foster care father or the adoptive father. Don't really know a good word apparently. Yeah, so he ends up killing the foster dad, and the mom gets really sad about it. Andy runs. I don't know exactly where. I think Chucky takes him somewhere to a good guy factory, or Andy goes there to do something. Chucky follows along using Kyle as a hostage, gets pulled over. Now there's a really good pullover scene, which I'm talking about right now. So Kyle gets pulled over by a cop, and he's like, "Do you know how fast you were going?" And he's like, "Oh, good guy doll." And he's like, "What's your name?" And Chucky like literally moves his head and goes, "Chucky." Like not even like how a good guy would. Like he just goes, "Chucky." Like if he's just sinister. And then he points the light at Chucky's face and sees it's bleeding. And Kyle goes, "You know how some dolls pee? This doll bleeds." It's a really good scene. I mean, honestly, first off, the cop was like every movie cop, not so good. I mean, honestly, if I saw a doll bleeding with some poor person, I would honestly take the doll and throw it away. That's just me. The cop just lets him go. And I'm like, okay, alright, your choice, but not 100% sure about that. I'm just really not. So yeah. So, with Andy, Kyle, and Chucky running around in a good guy doll factory, Andy beats the shit out of Chucky, cuts his hand off, and Chucky actually replaces it with a knife, with some clear plastic wrap. It doesn't look too cool, but it's actually a cool idea. Chucky goes around stabbing people, even throws a guy onto an eyeball conveyor thing where it like sticks the good guy eyes inside the heads, and yeah, the dude gets eyeballed. Which is also a very painful scene to me. I know what you're thinking. Lane, is there nothing that makes you want to go? A lot of things make me go, because it's just like a shock factor. So yeah, with Chucky doing all that, and of course killing people even inside the factory, like, let them work. Let them work. They have families to feed, you inconsiderate dick. That being said, Chucky then goes around chasing Kyle and Andy. And then Chucky gets melted onto this acidic stuff. And Chucky goes, Andy, please, we're friends to the ends. And I think Andy says, I have no friend, and like blows him up. It's a really gross scene because, like, I mean, he gets filled with acid and everything, and like he just looks gross. Chucky presumed dead once more. Yes. So yeah, it's a really good thing. Alrighty, so yeah, what's next? I think Child's Play 3. Child's Play 3. Normally a third. I always say third luck's the charm, but in the movie series, you never want a third, because thirds normally suck. Well, except Episode 3 of Star Wars. Probably the best one out of 1 and 2. 1 and 2 aren't bad. Just gonna say it. Hate me. I don't care. I love 1 and 2. But 3 is the best. So Child's Play 3, eh? So yeah, Child's Play 3. That's when the recreation scene of Chucky comes. He gets pulled out of the giant acid puddle, jumped into a vat with blood and everything, and you can, like, starts off with him screaming in your ear like a psycho he is, because the guy rebuilt the good guy dolls and everything. It's a real interesting thing. I don't know why he wanted to rebuild the good guy series. He gets killed by Chucky, of course, because hey, why not? Chucky then realizes Andy's more grown up. He's in military school, and yeah. So Chucky first kills a garbage man by pretending to be a lost person inside the garbage truck, which is really fucked up of you, Chucky, doing some fucked up shit. So Chucky then goes to military school, straighten up, get better, learn why he's a fuck up. Yeah, Chucky, you always killing, man. You gotta go to military school now, get that haircut. He was about to get his hair cut by a barber, and then he actually kills the military barber there. So Andy is afraid of once more Chucky, because Chucky's now hanging around a new young guy, and is trying to take this kid's body again like a piece of shit. So, once more, they have to stop him. But Andy's more older and got more strength, so it's not going to be too hard on him. So they end up defeating Chucky once more, thus ending once and for all the Child's Play series. Or so we thought. That's when you get the Bride of Chucky. Jennifer Tilly's character is madly obsessed about Chucky, rebuilds him and everything. There's even a Freddy and Jason thing in there, or Scream, I can't remember. There's an Easter egg to Freddy and Jason in there, that's for sure. And a lockup of evidence. So Jennifer Tilly's character, Tiffany, takes Chucky back to her trailer home, does some voodoo, brings a guy over. While she's teasing him, locked him up on the bed, Chucky's fucking with him like a piece of shit. Rips his piercing out. So this scene, this is probably the first time I've actually been afraid of Chucky, because he's like all stitched up and everything. He's got like giant scars on his face. Like, he just doesn't look like a regular doll. He actually looks really fucking destroyed and gross. So yeah, that's what made me really freaked out about Chucky, is the way he looked in this one. And on top of that, piercing. When he just rips it out. Ugh. Yeah, freaks and geeks. Why did we have to talk about Child's Play? Cringe. No, I'm kidding. A lot better than, I'm not even going to say it. Because if I do, I feel like I'm about to put a curse on this episode. So, it's a Matt Cha-Cha reference, just want to let y'all know. If you know it, you know it. So, Tiffany then teases the hell out of Chucky and puts him in a cage with a bride doll. She goes and takes a bath with a TV Not so smart, because Chucky then uses it as a weapon against her and kills her. Like, again, a piece of shit asshole he is. Puts her in the bride doll. Of course, she changes up the looks and everything. Writes a fake note saying that this doll must be transported or some sort. And Chucky and Tiffany take on the road with a couple of people, a couple of lovebirds. Kills one of the couples. Very painful way too. They're banging, and they're in like a sweetheart hotel room with a giant mirror up top. And they throw a champagne bottle and make love to it after killing them while breaking the mirror on the dead bodies. So they go on the road once more, killing. Then they confront the two other couple in the van. After finding a body, they confront them that they're alive, take them hostage to go and take their bodies. Tiffany ends up giving birth as a doll, which is really, really gross to see from a doll giving birth. It doesn't show anything, but anatomically speaking, well, I guess because they can get away with it, because the longer you stay in the doll, the more human you become with it. So, I mean, it does make sense, but she just gave birth so fast. I mean, normally it takes about 9 months, and she broke the world record of fast birth, I mean, it was like 9 days. So yeah, she gives birth, thus how you get the Seed of Chucky. Then after that, you get the Curse of Chucky, which is a prequel to the Bride of Chucky. Then you have the Cult of Chucky, which I guess is a sequel after the Curse, and of course a sequel after, or still a prequel to Bride. It's still both. I mean, honestly, it really is, because you can hear Jennifer Tilly's voice in the car and everything as a human, and drives off. Like I said, this just has always been, it honestly still doesn't really continue much after the Bride. Then you get the Child's Play reboot, which is really excellent. This isn't voiced by the normal Chucky voice actor. This is actually voiced by Mark Hamill this time. And instead of voodoo, he's an AI. AI is pretty scary. I mean, it's what we fear nowadays. Am I right? It still follows under young Andy Barclay. But there's a lot more action. Everything's controlled by AI, and a lot more comedy too. Except, don't really care for the cat strangling scene. That one really horrifies me when he's like strangling this cat because the cat scratched Andy. He's like all about protecting Andy. It's really hard because I'm not 100% sure. So in the original Child's Play, it's all about Chucky getting into Andy's body, but this time it's all about Chucky protecting Andy, and so they do so you guessed it, he gets an obsessive disorder because he's like been hacked in the beginning. They like fucked up like a lot of programming in him on purpose right before the dude took his own life. So he gets like obsessed over Andy and just wants to protect him out of jealousy. Ends up killing a lot of people for no reason, including a police mom. Because he's fucked up. Again, Chucky will always be a dickhead to me. I don't care what you say. I'm gonna say, fuck you if you disagree. That's all I have to say. No, I'm kidding. Don't take me to heart, freaks and geeks. I'm just messing with y'all. But yeah, this one definitely, it has a controversy, because if you didn't grow up watching the original Child's Play, you really love it. If you did, you really don't care for it, because it's like, you did so much to change it. Chucky really doesn't look like him. He looks more horrifying. The newer Chucky doll honestly looks a lot more creepy than the original Chucky doll. I mean, the Chucky doll had like the 1988 version Chucky had a baby face and everything, and he just looked like a normal doll. This thing just, this thing just looked like, I don't know what it looked like. You can't even explain what this thing looked like. It It looked horrifying. It had a human face. What was cool is the eyes changed when he went like a murderous mode. A lot of the kills were cool. I felt more of a Saw vibe than a Child's Play vibe more than anything off of this. And the reason why I say this is because there's a lot more torturing with this Chucky. I mean, don't get me wrong, Chucky is tortured, but like, he just went straight to killing though a lot of times. He would torture like once in a while. But this Chucky just tortured. I mean, like, there's this dude seeing Andy's mom, and like he has like an actual family, and like Chucky knocks him off a ladder with like Christmas lights tied to his legs, while he has like some sort of yard tool, like has saws on it, and it's like dragging it's crawling on the Christmas lights to come and get him. I'm not 100% sure what that thing's called. I don't know. I don't know landscape that well and how to do yard work. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I suck. So yeah, he puts his fucking head in a watermelon, because apparently the dude grows watermelon, and Chucky said, you know what? Your head needs to go into a watermelon. And that's what he did. Gave it to Andy. Andy ended up throwing it away, and it was found, and once again, Andy's under arrest for murdering that he didn't do. So it did keep the original thing of that, which I really loved. Was keeping the whole framing Andy as Chucky. But yeah, it's a really interesting film. It's not bad at all. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't really mess with it, I don't vibe with it, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay. It's not bad though. I'm gonna be real. It's not as good as the original. I will say that. It's not as good as the original, but it's not bad. But yeah. Child's Play 2019. I highly recommend. I'm like shaking my desk. I do apologize if y'all hear the mic thudding a little bit. I didn't realize that I'm shaking my little stand-up desk. Yeah, I got a stand-up desk now, y'all. It's excellent. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. But yeah, that Chucky gets put on the shelf, defeated in 2019 reboot. Yeah, so that sums it up for Child's Play. I know I said we weren't going to get into them, but I lied. We actually got into them. Shocker, twist, whatever. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, honestly, I was going to talk about all of them more than just Child's Play, because I said it's a franchise. I'm looking forward to the Chucky series that's coming out to Sci-Fi. I still don't know too much. A lot of us don't. I think the original actor, the voice actor for Chucky's coming back to reprise his role for the voice of Chucky, which is excellent, excellent. Fucking love him for the voice of Chucky. Yeah, but no, I highly recommend a lot of these, except again, The Cult of Chucky. Curse of Chucky is excellent. Child's Play 2019, not bad. If you've never seen the original, what are you doing? What are you doing? You need to pause and go watch the original right now. No, not even. We're almost over with this episode. But yeah, that's Chucky for you. I don't know what we're going to be talking about next week, actually. I think we're going to be doing... I just want to double check. I think we're going to be talking about Willy's Wonderland. I mean, honestly, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. I'm probably going to end up bringing someone on, I'm sure. If not, hey, you'll get this sexy voice as always. You know you love it. But yeah, next week we're going to be doing Willy's Wonderland. I've actually decided upon that. So, next week, get ready for Willy's Wonderland. That's an excellent film. I can't wait to talk about that. So much for that. That is going to be an awesome one. I know, Freaks and Geeks, for once we're not having a guest. I know. Shocker, right? Right? You're probably like done with them. I know. Season 3 has been so much full of so many good guests. No, I'm kidding. Don't be done with my guests. They're excellent people. We even brought back Matt Cha-Cha for Season 3, which was awesome. That's the last episode if you want to check it out. We talked about Creep Show, everything. But before I go, before we end this episode, Freaks and Geeks, follow on Twitter at The Lane Shift, at SlashingCast, at SNC Network, and then of course Instagram, The Lane Shift, Instagram, SlashingCast. Follow, like, subscribe, whatever you have to do. Just enjoy my content, because tweets are awesome, posts are amazing, Episodes are great, and you'll get to know when the latest episode is coming out, when and what, and you maybe see photos of me doing some weird stuff behind the scenes, like maybe a yoga stance, a cartwheel, who knows. I can't do either of those, but I might try now, just because I said it out loud. But seriously, Freaks and Geeks, thank you all so much for the support to the show, to the podcast. Excellent. I do appreciate all of you for listening and tuning in, and I hope you enjoy this episode. This was really fun to talk about something from my childhood. I never realized how much Chucky was a dickhead and a doll. Alrighty. Till next time, Freaks and Geeks. Till next time.